After 3 seasons here at West Ham, trying to make them good and great again, our series comes to an end at the culmination of the 25-26 season. Premier League champions and Carabao Cup winners. But have we really made West Ham good and great again? Hello and welcome to episode 79, our final episode of Irons in the Fire, where we have tried to make West Ham good and great again. And today we'll be assessing and asking you to leave in the comments to let me know whether you think we have achieved what we set out to do, or is there still more to be done? That is the big question. My name's Mark, and on today's episode, as promised, we have a roundup of the season just finished, season 2025-26, and a look back at the series. Where did we start from? How have we progressed? And have we indeed made West Ham good and great again? If you enjoyed today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment, let me know whether you think we've achieved what we set out to do, or we're well on the way. Whichever way you look at it, just let me know, and we'll be grateful for your input. And also, the other thing that we're going to do towards the end of this episode is tell you what is coming next, and I hope you will join me for our brand new series, which starts next Monday. Don't forget, you can keep up to date with everything that goes on, new series, extra videos on other things, and so on and so forth, simply by following me on X at JustOffsideFM. Right, let's get into it then. Let's have a look at what there is going on, and we're going to do the review of the season just gone in just a few moments, but this screen, apart from the fact that we lost our last 2 games of the season, which wasn't very clever, but we played 182 games. We won 134 of them. That's a win percentage of 73%. 24 games were drawn, 24 games were lost. We had 487 goals you've seen on this series to date. 168 goals against, and 319 is the goal difference. 319 more goals for than against, and as I say, that's a win ratio of 73%, which is rather splendid. We've also shown you how to change kits and also add third kits as well during this series. Currently the bank balance is a little bit lax, just over £7.5 million in the red. Estimated value is £2 billion with a loan debt of 16.75 million. Finances are okay, and the owner loves the club, which is really good news that he does, of course. I don't think there's a great deal else to tell you on this particular screen. We will do a deep dive into the league table very, very shortly. Just a quick look, just to recap on it. Just to confirm, we were champions on 100 points. We wanted to break a couple of records. We equalled Manchester City's record. I think we will check the records out in just a short while. In fact, we can do that right now. Yeah, we equalled Manchester City's most points in the season from 2017-18 on 100, and the most league wins in the season was 32. Manchester City in a season, we equalled that. So we've equalled their record. The big question again, I guess, if we'd done another season, would we have been able to retain the title and even go a step further, both in the FA Cup and the Champions League? That is a question that I guess will or will not be answered. I may continue with the save and come back and tell you how we got on and whether we did actually achieve those key things as well. As I said, we will do a deep dive into the table very, very shortly. Right, I think it is high time we did the end of season review. So let's go and have a look at how we got on in season 2025-26. So here we are with the review for you, and looking at what has happened. We always start with the new arrivals, and our star signing of the year, Joe Gomez, who we brought in from Liverpool. I think it was Manchester United or somebody like that wanted him, and we snuck him in under their noses. Good season, £90 million we paid for him. 45 appearances, 7 off the bench, 9 goals, 11 assists, a 7.27 he got for the season. So that was very, very good. We brought in Martin Vitic from Sparta Prague. To be honest, he didn't play a lot, but by golly, he was our second best signing of the year, Martin Vitic. £15 million we paid for him. He was a steal. 17 appearances, 22 from the bench, 4 goals, 3 assists, a 7.06. The other one that was rather good, but only got a C from the ball. They weren't too impressed. Red Bull Salzburg gave up Oscar Galuk. And we brought him in for £15.75 million, 17 appearances, 5 from the bench, 5 goals, 5 assists, and he got a 7. Morten Helmond, Sporting Lisbon, Sporting Club de Portugal, 53 million, 18 appearances, 12 from the bench, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6.98. Archie Gray from Leeds United, just been transferred in real life to Tottenham Hotspur. £78 million we paid for him. 12 appearances, 15 from the bench, 2 goals, 2 assists, a 6.90. One for the future, I may suggest. And the other signing, which I wasn't too impressed with. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't really know. It says he's world-class goalkeeper. He didn't prove it here, but he may get another chance next season. Came in from Benfica, and it was Tolai Trubin, £46.5 million, 18 appearances, no goals, no assists, a 6.78. I would suggest a little bit disappointing. The board were happy, but I was a little bit disappointed. Going out the other way, Paqueta went to El Ittihad. He was the best performer, 7.52 he did. 1 goal, 4 assists, went for £48.5 million, made 27 appearances. Andy Irving went to Rapid Vienna at 7.35, just for £7.75 million, 24 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. Heggie, goalkeeper Christian Heggie, went to Brescia for £750. Could have paid for that myself. 24 appearances, 1 from the bench, 7.10. Mavropanos went to Real Madrid, 16 million, 7 appearances, 13 from the bench, 7.04. And others going out. Benrahma, who went to Alvarez, and Mumbama going to Leeds United for £5 million, and a number of others going there. But we won't look at those. I don't think Archie Woods actually went anywhere specifically, just left. So they were the transfers in and the transfers out. The results for the season, Premier League, of course, we won the Premier League. As I said, we will do a deep dive very, very shortly. The bold expectation was that we would qualify for at least the Europa League. So a bit higher than 6th, 5th or 6th. Finished, of course, first. Top scorer was Ollie Watkins with 13 goals for the season. Splendid return for him. The one that got away again, the Champions League. We lost in the quarter-final. Gerard Bowen and Mohamed Kudus, 7 goals each in this competition. We did get through the league part of the thing, and I think if my memory serves me right, we'll check in a minute. If my memory serves me right, we did actually come out of that seeded 1, because we won all our games, and it wasn't the easiest of groups, I have to say. I mean, we had Inter Milan, Liverpool, Leverkusen, who've run riot in Germany, of course, amongst others in that. Managed to get past Salzburg pretty 11-2 on aggregate, but then came up against big boys Real Madrid, and it was that goal away from home that really got us in the end. Managed a 3-3 draw at our place. Probably should have won it, but ended up 4-3 on aggregate, getting knocked out in the quarter-final. Annoying or what? FA Cup, well, another one we should really have got, losing on penalties, of course. I think it was Ward-Prowse missing his penalty, but we managed to get past Manchester City in the semi-final, 3-0 win, which was quite astounding, really. And we've beaten their Manchester counterparts also in the previous round in the quarter-final, 2-1 as well. So disappointing to get through the final and end up losing. Bowen and Watkins, 5 goals each in that competition. But we were victors in the Carabao Cup. Again, Manchester City taking them out in the semi-final, the two-legged semi-final. 3-2 on aggregate. I was trying to work that out then, and I was having terrible trouble. Lazia Samadic, the top scorer in that competition with 4 goals. So Carabao Cup winners and Premier League champions. A double that should have been a triple, that should have been a quadruple at the very, very least. At least my opinion of it. That's how it should have been. Moments to remember was a 9-2 win in the FA Cup over Oldham Athletic. Watkins getting a hat-trick, Kudos scoring 4, Archie Gray and Samadic scoring the other goals. A splendid 9-2, probably the biggest score of the season. It was the biggest score of the season, the biggest win. Matches to remember was a 4-0 winning in the Premier League against Newcastle. An own goal from Botman, Abraham, Todibo and Wagnerman, the scorers on that occasion. And the goal of the season came from Thilo Carrera in the game against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup semi-final. I think there was probably better goals. And the ball played to Souček from Helmond. Helm back to Helmond. Carrera on the edge of the box. And he curled it in past Koval in the goal. But as I say, I'm sure there was better goals than that. And there always is in Football Manager. It never seems to pick out the one that I would have earmarked as goal of the season. Quick look at the finances. No new sponsorships. Our sponsorship money was up on the previous season. Broadcast revenue was down. Corporate and hospitality was down. Competition prize money was down. And match of the day, commercial and retail was also down. Samadic had the most shirts sold. Bowen, Gluck, Watkins and Gomez were the other players contributing to 19.9 million in shirt sales throughout the season. This is how we lined up. Mazzuglia in goal, Parisi, Upamecano, Todibo and Gomez, Ward-Prowse, Souček and Paqueta in midfield. Kudos sat behind Watkins and Bowen up front. Bowen always used to play on the left-hand side and Watkins on the right, but that's pretty much how we lined up for the season. Accolades, I won Manager of the Month in, it says May here, but I think that was May. Is that May from last year? I think it may be. Then December, January, February, March and April. I was also Manager of the Year, which was rather splendid. Awards then, Fans Player of the Season was Lazia Samadic. Young Player of the Season, also Lazia Samadic. Signing of the Season, we've already worked that one out. Joe Gomez. Goal of the Season, we've seen it. Not impressed. Top goal scorer, Gerard Bowen, 24 goals for the season. Most assists, Lazia Samadic with 26. Most Player of the Match awards, Ollie Watkins with 5. Average rating, Thomas Souček with a 7.3, and the most passes completed in 90 minutes was Todibo with 52. Competition awards, Mohamed Kudus picked up African Midfielder of the Year. Well done to him. Most assists, 26. We already said these, I think, record breakers. It is a breaking a record. Most clean sheets, Mazzuglia on 22. Worst discipline, Parisi had 13 yellow cards and 1 red one. That red one towards the end of the season. Gomez, he was the highest transfer fee paid, 80 million, and the youngest goal scorer was Brent Kerr, 17 years and 97 days. West Ham took a little while to get going, but really set themselves up for this most magical of outcomes with their mid-season run. That's Sky Sports. Then Craig Young from Radio 5 Live said West Ham have been brilliant since turning it on in the middle of the season. I thought it was from the start of the season, to be fair. Their football was a joy to watch, and they are deserved champions. Right, one thing that we only do right at the end of series, and that's have a look at our timeline. Whilst we've been here, we joined on the 3rd of July 2023, hired as the new manager, and high-profile players can be hard to sign in quick succession, but Just Offside got two of them, including Raul de Thomas and Ollie Watkins, for a grand total of 64 million. So there we go. Transfer record set at the time. Ollie Watkins, 44 million from Aston Villa, because we were looking for an English striker as much as anything else. We beat Chelsea 3-0 at the London Stadium. What other things? Under new leadership, obviously changed the captains a few times. Dolce Kamado, who didn't really do it for us, came in on a £17 million deal. Investing in potential Michael Archibald. FA Cup win over Norwich will forever regret missing the 91st minute goal that brought them victory. A lesson there, never to leave before games have finished, I think. West Ham set a new goal record in Europe for a season of 37, Europa League. Vladimir Sufal made West Ham's path to the FA Cup much smoother with 3 assists. Lazia Samadic breaking the bank. We paid 120 million for him, all told. Parisi as well coming in, of course. £389 million spent on transfers so far, it says there. That was that was done. Then we bought up a Meccano for another 69 million. West Ham's 2-1 Carabao Cup final defeat against Manchester United, and my 100th game in the managing West Ham, and a couple of others there. Nothing really exciting. Of course, then we went on to win the Carabao Cup the following year. Lazia Samadic with 4 goals. New club record, 19 matches in a row. 91 Premier League points, set a new club record. Didn't quite manage to beat the Premier League record. Of course, we were made champions as well. So that's a quick look at the timeline while we've been here. We will have a closer look at that in a moment or two. But what we want to do next is have a quick look at the league table, as we always do, and have a quick roundup of how things went and do a deep dive into it. We finished top on 100 points, 20 points clear of Chelsea in second, Arsenal in third on 75, and Manchester City finishing fourth, also on 75. Not quite enough goal difference to get past Arsenal to finish third, and that's the lowest that Manchester City have finished for quite a while. Don't expect them to beat so bad next season. They are the Champions League places. The Europa League place, Tottenham finishing 5th on 71. The Europa Conference League, Manchester United will be in that next season on 66 points. Everton just missing out on 62. Aston Villa, who won the FA Cup or have the other Europa League space, on 54 points and relegated. Norwich on 32. Southampton and Luton. Southampton on 24. Luton on 22. We'll have a look in a moment and see who's coming the other way. Home record wise, we were best at home. Didn't lose all season at home. 19 matches won. Goes to prove the London Stadium was absolutely a fortress for us. 51 goals for, only 6 goals conceded at home. That is quite a record. 45 goal difference, 57 points picked up at home. The nearest was Arsenal, who also didn't lose at home, including to us at the end of the season. But they did draw 3 at home, and they finished third. Well, they finished third, but second on their home record. Chelsea finishing third, Manchester City fourth, Manchester United fifth, and Tottenham sixth. So the top 6 just in a slightly different order. Bournemouth, Southampton and Luton were the teams that didn't do so well at home at the bottom end of the table. Bournemouth, of course, managing to survive, and probably did so by their away record. Talking about away records, again, let's have a look. We lost 2 away from home. Opening day of the season against Liverpool, a 2-1 loss, and then a 3-1 loss on the last day of the season. 43 points picked up on the road, making the 100 up. Drew 4 other games, of course. 19 against, 37 for, 19 against, a goal difference of plus 18. Chelsea was second on 31. Manchester City were third on 28. Tottenham were fourth on 27. Everton were fifth on 27. So they had a good away. Arsenal, not so good away from home. They lost 9 games away from home. They way down in 6th on 24 points. And then the 3 teams at the bottom, Southampton, Sunderland and Nottingham Forest, their away record not so good. Bournemouth, as you see, that was the difference. They did actually pick up 17 points on the road. And that could suggest that teams have a trouble at home when they're not playing quite so well, and that's possibly the case. Halfway through the season, we were 9 points clear over Arsenal, who were in second place. Chelsea were in third, also on 39. Fourth were Manchester City. Fifth were Tottenham, and Manchester City were down in 6th. Liverpool in a lowly... Where are Liverpool? In fact, I've lost them. Liverpool, they are down there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Down in 11th, pretty much where they finished the season. Only 27 points in the first half of the season. And certainly not good. Second half of the season, we again 52. In fact, we had a better second half of the season. If you look back at the first half, we did draw 3 matches in that first half, whereas in the second half we only drew 1 match, winning all the other games. So we did have a better second half of the season, which is what pushed us away. 11 points clear of Chelsea, who had the next best record on 41. Manchester City picking up 40 points. They were a better away from home. Then Arsenal, then Tottenham, then Everton, who also had a good second half of the season. And down the bottom, Luton and Southampton, not so good second half of the season. Norwich, as we know, which is what dropped them in there. Bournemouth having a good second half of the season, which is probably what saved them, to be fair. Last 5 games of the season, the run-in, Tottenham were just as good as us, picking up 12 points, only conceding 2 goals, Tottenham, in that run-in at the end of the season. Arsenal were third best, then Chelsea and Brentford having a cracking last 5 games of the season. Luton, Nottingham Forest and Southampton not faring so good. How did it all stack up against the media prediction? Well, the media predicted that we would finish 7th. We finished 1st. Chelsea 6th and finished 2nd. Arsenal were predicted to finish 2nd, finished 3rd. Manchester City were expected to win the title again, but finished 4th. Tottenham were expected to finish 8th and finish 5th. And Manchester United expected to finish 3rd, but finished a lowly 6th. Liverpool were expected to finish 4th and finished 12th. Luton were expected to go down and did. Southampton were expected to survive but didn't. And Norwich City did slightly better than what they were expected. Sunderland expected to go down but actually managed to survive. So that is how that all happened, and how the season panned itself out. So there we go. That is how the season went. And one other thing to look at is the XG table, and XG points points possible. We are expected to finish first. The XG expected goals 79.2 plus 11. Expected goals against was 31.5 and minus 6, and the expected points we're only expected to pick up 77.5 points, but actually picked up 22 points more than that in the end. Liverpool, as you'll see, 7 goals less than expected, 5 less against, 5 more against, and they also had 7 points less than what was expected of them. So that's the XG screen. Let's have a quick look at some other bits as we go. Let's just stack up. Todibo, the most appearances, Upamecano, Gomez, Bowen, Ward-Prowse and Mazulia, the top players there. Goals for the season: Jarrod Bowen with 24, Ollie Watkins 23, Mohamed Kudus 19, Tammy Abraham 17, Samadic 14, Marshall, I think he had 12, but that was probably away because he was on loan. Souček also having 12, and then assists-wise, Samadic, amazing 26 goals he contributed. Parisi 15, Wagnerman 11, Bowen 11, Gomez 11, Ward-Prowse 10. Quite astounding, that 26 assists. So he actually contributed 40 goals for the season, scoring and assisting. Lazia Samadic, an excellent player, although I say so myself. So that is how our season has panned out. Let's go and have a quick look at some records, Premier League records first. As we already said, we've equalled most points in a season, most league wins in a season. We've equalled both of those. Just going to have a quick look down, see if there's any others that we have broken this season. Most assists by a player in a season, Lazia Samadic, he's broken the record, 17 in the Premier League. I can't see any more immediately that spring out at me. So our discipline was a bit better than last year. 77 yellow cards last year, 2 red cards. So that's not a record to be too proud of, I should suggest. Right, the next thing we're going to have a look at is my history. So we go into the overview, and managed one club. We've been here for 1,058 days, 11 awards in that time. I've earned £11 million. I wish I'd be rich if I did. We bought 18 players, spent £895 million, and sold 22 players for £430 million. That's a deficit of something like £460 million by my reckoning. Highest fee paid was £18 million for Joe Gomez, and the highest fee received was £68 million for Alvarez, and total fees paid to agents £1.8 million. We've been over these games played. The overall career is pretty much the same as the other. 2 cup wins, 1 league win. Really should have been more, I think, to say the least. We should have definitely done more with that. Right, a quick look. I did promise that we would have a look and see, if we can, we'll go back in here, see who's coming up in this world next season from the Championship. Coming up, Wolves and Burnley were promoted. West Brom have been promoted via the playoffs after they were up against Coventry, Fulham and Derby, but they've managed to squeeze their way up into it. So Wolves, Burnley and West Brom playing in the Premier League in the following season. Right, without any more to do, we're going to come back in just a moment. We're going to have a look at how we have done over the 3 seasons that we've been here and our progression. And then we ask the question, have we made West Ham good and great again? And this is how we ended the first season here at West Ham, season 23-24. And, as it was, we finished in third place on 79 points behind Manchester City on 86, Manchester United on 83, 9 points clear of Tottenham in fourth, and Liverpool, who finished in fifth, also on 70 points. And of course, that is how we finished that season in the Premier League. Europa League, we got knocked out in the quarter-final by our nemesis, Liverpool. Won the FA Cup. That was quite a performance, as I remember. We won that one by beating Manchester United 3-2 in that one, and we were knocked out in the third round by Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. Oh my, what a turn up that was. And we struggled in that one, to say the least. So that is how our season went for 23-24, and this is how season 24-25 went. And the following season, 24-25, we went one better. We finished in second place on 87 points, just 1 point, annoyingly, behind Manchester City, and beat Manchester City's total for the previous year. So Manchester City just sort of doing enough to stay in front of us. Otherwise, we would have won the title last season. And, well, there you go. Liverpool in third, Arsenal in fourth. So we were 7 points clear of Liverpool in third, and 9 points clear of Arsenal down in fourth, but just that 1 point behind Manchester City, who went on to win the title, which was rather annoying. In this season, as we already think, we qualified for the Europa League, but of course... that was the board expectation. Sorry, we finished obviously with the Champions League place. Knocked out in the semi-final of the Champions League by Paris Saint-Germain. Never did get through to the final. Knocked out in the semi-final of the FA Cup by Manchester United, who we lost to, or did we beat the previous year? I think we beat them the previous year. The Carabao Cup, we were runners-up again. I think we got into... who did we lose to? Was it Manchester United again? It was Manchester United again. They beat us in the Carabao Cup, knocked out by them in the semi-final. And we lost to Liverpool, possibly. No, it was Manchester City in the Community Shield. So we only picked up... we didn't pick up anything that season. Lost in all competitions. So that was a little bit demoralising, really. And that's how we ended up... finishing this current season. So you can pretty much say we had a comprehensive season this year, and I think we could probably make a few more acquisitions to take us that one step. So each year we have moved forward. I think we've bought quite well, brought the players in that needed to take us to the next level, and well, I think we can be fairly happy that we have achieved. But as I say, the question is, and I'd like you to leave me a comment down below and let me know, do you think we've made West Ham good and great again? Were they ever great? I don't know. But if they were, have we made them great again? And I guess we could probably go a step further, and if we played another season, possibly looking to wrap up all four competitions. As I say, I will let you know how I go, because I probably will play it for another season behind the scenes and see what is going to happen. Right, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to start a new series, and that new series will start on Monday at 4:15. I can just give you a little bit of a heads up of what we're going to do in just a few seconds from now. And the title of our new series is Going Dutch. We are going to manage in the Dutch second division. We are going to manage a team that has dropped out of the Eredivisie and in Holland, and we are going to manage them, get them back up into that top division, the Dutch Premier Division as it is, and then we'll probably play a couple of seasons, get them back up hopefully in the first season. That's the plan, and then having got them back up, the job for a second season will be to keep them in the Euro division and as high as possible. That is the plan. It's almost like a project turnaround I think we did with Brentford previously, but I'm not going to reveal which team we're looking at just yet. You will have to join me on Monday to find out. If you feel excited for that new series, again, leave me a comment down below. Look out for it. It's releasing at 4:15 on Monday, and we're going to call it Going Dutch. A couple of other ideas that we've got coming up. We are looking at doing a couple of other things. They're looking to do some tactic videos. If you think that's a good thing, again, thumbs up, comments in the comments down below. And finally, we are looking at football shirts as well. We're going to do a few videos on those, yeah, I'll leave it at that for the moment. We will come back to it, but just to say that we will be having a look, and if you're excited for that, again, let me know what you'd like to see doing in that, and I will reveal as we go along. So don't forget to join me on Monday as we go Dutch. Yep, we're going Dutch, boys and girls. So join me then for that. I do hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. And as I say, leave me a comment. Let me know where you think we have actually achieved what we set out to do. Leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of Going Dutch as they are released, and of course our other series which continues, Bottom to the Top. We have actually got promotion in that one to the Football League, so that's getting quite exciting as well. How far can we go with Weymouth before FM25 is released? That is the big question. Going Dutch will be released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. and the best way of keeping up to date with everything we do here on the channel is to follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. I look forward to seeing you for the first episode of our brand new series out on Monday. It's going to be episode 1 of Going Dutch. Who will we manage in the second division in Holland? Join me and find out on Monday. Don't forget our other series as well. Besides that, have yourselves a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Till then, bye bye.